Hey everyone, and welcome back to Theory Discussions, where I talk about theories both new and old. Today, since it's October, I wanted to bring you a Coraline theory. But let me tell you, there are a lot of Coraline theories out there, and they're all pretty interesting. But it definitely took me a while to finally find the theory I wanted to talk about today. Today's theory is Coraline is still stuck in the other world. This theory mainly focuses on the little door Coraline uses to go back and forth from the other world, with the thought in mind that the other mother is in control of it, and tricks Coraline into thinking she's in the real world at the end of the movie. First, let's take a look at the things that happen after Coraline thinks she's back in the real world. Her parents seem to be more caring and attentive. Coraline's mother gives her a gift, which turns out to be the gloves that she wanted earlier in the movie. Wabt saves her from the other mother's hand, tells her she was right about everything, and even calls her Coraline instead of Caroline. The next day, we actually see Coraline's parents gardening. The Scotty dog that was supposed to be sick and dying seems to be better and healthier than ever. And everyone is nice and paying attention to Coraline. It's all pretty weird and suspicious to me. I mean, how is it that in one day, everyone Coraline is around changes into the kind of people she would want them to be? Another thing to point out is it looks like the way they're planting the flowers, it's going to turn out looking a lot like the garden in the other world. Now, how exactly did the other mother pull this off? Throughout the movie, we see Coraline use a little door as a portal to the other world and back to the real world. But who's to say where this door is actually leading her to? If we assume that the other mother does have control of this door, why would she ever let Coraline leave? Once Coraline went through the door the first time, the other mother blocked the door to the real world off, so Coraline couldn't go back to the real world. I mean, isn't it weird Coraline doesn't have to go through the door to get back to the real world, and instead gets back there by sleeping? But later in the movie, this tactic doesn't work, because she never went back to the real world. But instead, it's more of the other mother's powers. Seeing the other things she does throughout the movie, it's not too far-fetched to believe that she could make the Pink Palace look like the real one, to make Coraline think she's back home. And in the end, when she goes through the door for the last time, she's just in an endless loop going back to the same place. And who she thinks is her real mother and father aren't. I mean, the only way that we're meant to tell these characters apart is their button eyes. But in the end, the other mother does show that she can have real eyes. So what really does the other mother gain from doing this? Well, for starters, she scares Coraline so bad that she never wants anything to do with the little door again. And second, Coraline throws the key down the well, thinking she's in the real world. So, at this point, Coraline can never go back to the real world. And thirdly, it seems pretty obvious that the other mother feeds on the love of children, or a child's love for their parents. So keeping her in what she thinks is the real world, and keeping her content and happy with slight changes here and there, means that she can feed off Coraline's love as long as she can. There are, of course, some things going against this theory. I mean, the flowers they plant at the end don't exactly match the ones that were in the garden in the other world. The ones in the other world were blue, and the ones that they are planting are red. Of course, you could just say that if everything was exactly the same, Coraline would know. she would catch on very quickly. So of course they would use different flowers to kind of throw her off. Also, the red flowers could be considered symbolism. Not saying that they are or aren't, but a lot of people associate the color red with blood and death. And using a lot of red in the movie, or a red filter or something, is meant to give the audience a feeling of uneasiness. There's also the whole situation with the ghost children. I mean, were they working with the other mother? They're the ones that told Coraline to hide the key. I mean, it could be something that the other mother didn't think about or plan, but she is the one that put Coraline with the ghost children. So it's kinda hard to say. So there you have it, and with that, I'm giving this theory 8 button eyes out of 10. This theory actually makes a lot of sense to me. So what do you guys think of this theory? Do you think Coraline is still trapped in the other world? Let me know down in the comments. And if you have any theories you want me to talk about, definitely bring them to my attention. Thanks for watching, and see you guys next time.